crochet friends, it's Olivia and I am back with another tutorial. Today we are making the honeycomb headband. It is absolutely beautiful and can be made in any size. I do have the written instructions and sizing chart linked in the description so you can easily find that, and I put the materials on the screen. For this particular pattern, you can pretty much use any hook and yarn of your choice, as long as the band is long enough to fit the person wearing it. This pattern is worked in multiples of 5 plus 2. It doesn't matter what your multiple of 5 plus 2 is, as long as the band is long enough. I'm making mine for a newborn baby, so my multiple of 5 was 60 chains, and then I added 2 to that, which gave me a total of 62 chains. So here are my 62 chains, and my chain ended up being about 13 inches long for the newborn size, and in the written instructions and size chart, you will find the recommended band length for any size headband. Starting off row 1 with a single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. So I'm just inserting my hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops. Then I'm going to continue making single crochets all the way down my chain. So at the end of row 1, I should have a total of 61 single crochets. So now I'm going to chain 1 and turn the work. Then go ahead and make a single crochet into the first 2 stitches. Then chain 5. Now I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches and make a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Now here is where the pattern repeats. So I'm going to chain 5, skip 2, make a single crochet in the next 3, and continue repeating that sequence until I get to the last 4 single crochets of the row. And then I will show you what to do from there. Here is what it looks like after repeating the sequence, and I'm now at my last 4 single crochet. So I'm just going to chain up 5, skip the next 2 stitches, and make a single crochet in the last 2 stitches. So chain 5, skip 2, single crochet into the last 2. chain 1 and turn the work, and make a single crochet into that first stitch. Now skip the next single crochet, then make 5 single crochets into the chain 5 arc. So here are your 3 single crochets from the previous round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the next single crochet and make a single crochet into the second single crochet. So I'm single crocheting into that middle stitch. Now the pattern repeats. So 5 single crochet into the arc and 1 single crochet into that middle stitch. So arc, middle stitch, arc, middle stitch, until I get to the last 2 single crochets. Then I'll show you how to finish off the row. So here is what row 3 is looking like, and it's starting to resemble the shape of a honeycomb. So I just finished my 5 single crochets into the arc, and I'm at my last 2 stitches, so I just skipped 1 single crochet and made a single crochet into that very last stitch. Next I'm going to chain 6. And this is going to count as a treble crochet and a chain 2. And turn the work. And then I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches and make a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Chain 5, then skip over the next 3 single crochets and make a single crochet into the next 3 single crochets. So skip 3, single crochet 3. Repeat the pattern. So the repeat is chain 5, skip 3, and 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. So chain 5, skip 3, single crochet 3. And we are going to do that until we get to the last 2 stitches. Now at the end of row 4, you should have 2 single crochets left over. So what I'm going to do is chain up 2 and then skip 1 single crochet and make a treble crochet into the last stitch. And to do the treble crochet, you yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop, then yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, oops, then yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. chain 1 and turn. Then make a single crochet into the treble crochet that you just made. Then make 2 single crochet into this chain 2 space. Then skip the next single crochet and then make a single crochet into the next single crochet, which is the middle stitch. Now skip the next single crochet and make 5 single crochet into the arc. Now you have these next 3 single crochets, so you're going to make a single crochet into the second one, which is the stitch in the middle. Now we are doing the exact same pattern repeat that we did in round 3. So we're going to make 5 single crochets into our arc, and then 1 single crochet into our middle stitch. So arc, middle stitch, arc, middle stitch, all the way till the end, and you should finish on your last middle stitch. Now before you do anything else, you need to make 2 single crochets into this chain 2 space. It looks like a chain 6 space, but it actually counts as a treble crochet and a chain 2. I forgot to make the 2 single crochets. I am so sorry, I'm not perfect, but just make sure you make those 2 single crochets. Now to finish row 5, I'm going to count up 4 chains from the bottom of my chain 6 and make a single crochet into that 4th chain. Then cut the yarn, but leave a nice long tail end for sewing. Then fasten off by yarning over and pulling your tail end all the way through the loop and tightening it. Then I just weaved in some of my loose ends and I flipped the project upside down. Now I need to reattach my yarn, and I did that by just making a slip knot, putting my hook through the first stitch and putting the slip knot on my hook and just pulling up a loop and chaining 1 to make sure it is secure. And what I'm doing here is just repeating rows 2 through 5 while working on the opposite side of our foundation row. So I just started that off with 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches, and then I chain 5, skip the next 2 stitches, and make a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So here I am skipping over 2 stitches and making a single crochet into the next 3, and what this does is it mirrors the first side of the headband. So both sides are going to be mirror images of one another. Now when doing this row 2 repeat, you might have to eyeball the single crochets a little bit, so don't stress out too much if they aren't perfectly exactly across from one another. As long as they look somewhat identical from the other side, then you're good to go. So I just did my last chain 5, and I'm just finishing off the row with 1 single crochet into the last 2 stitches. And then I'm just going to repeat rows 3, 4, and 5 exactly the same way as I did on the first side. And here's what my band looks like after my row 5 repeat. Now you want to thread your tapestry needle with the long tail end that you left for sewing. And then you're just going to fold the band in half like this and sew the 2 sides together. And And I like to use either stitch markers or safety pins to hold everything in place while I work. Now you can use whichever sewing technique you'd like to hold your sides together. I'm going to be using the whip stitch, which is just whipping the thread around and going back through the side that you started on. While you're sewing, you just want to make sure that your center single crochets line up with one another, so you can have a nice straight seam. Now that I'm done sewing, I'm just going to tie off my yarn into a knot and pull really tight. And then I'll just cut the yarn and weave in my tail end. And the final step is to turn your band inside out so that the seam is hidden on the inside. Now you have completed your band and it is time to move on to our flower. Hi, Olivia here. Just a side note, I want to let you know that you can find the entire flower video tutorial linked in the description where I go into detail about how to make this beautiful flower. When you're done sewing up your flower, all you have to do is sew it onto your band right where the seam is where you sewed the band together. And that is to cover up the seam and make sure the finish is nice and clean. And then weave in any loose ends. And then you are done with your honeycomb headband. Thank you so much for watching. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. And I will see you again soon with another crochet tutorial.